Okay, let's do this for the culture. Let's do this for the genuine vendors on Instagram, especially those who are battling with the current issue of no return, no refund, da 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 da. I want to give you the spiritual angle, okay? For those who are actually real, no, not I'm not talking about scammers, though. I'm not talking about scammers. I'm talking about the real vendors on Instagram. Now, the spiritual angle about this, before I go into it, right, I'm going to ask everybody, buyers or vendors, or I'm going to ask everybody this simple question. This thing that we do on Instagram, that you go to a particular vendor, okay, and then you express interest, in their service or their product, and you make a purchase. And then maybe 2 days later, you say, oh, you don't want again, or you want a refund, and then the person, you know, you get into whatever altercation with the person. I want to ask you a question. Can you do this in Oshodi? Can you do this in Mushin? Can you do this in Lagos Island? Can you do this in the open market? The answer is no. You will never try it. Not even the open market, even at a supermarket or somewhere, wherever, you wouldn't do this in the open market. So why do you think you should do this online? Now, let me tell you why you would never do this in the open market. Because those women, they understand the principle of Ajay. In the markets, right, the women, they always say Ajiawa, oh, Ajiawa, Ajiawa. Oh. And in Yoruba land, Ajay refers to the energy that represents money, whether you call her a goddess or whatever. The energy that represents wealth and money and abundance is Ajay. And it's believed that Ajay actually goes into the markets, especially on certain days, like on Monday, for instance. And when you receive money in a transaction, it is believed that Ajay has come to you. Do you understand? Now, for somebody to now come and tell you that, I want a refund or give my money back, they would never. You know why? Because the truth is this: once you do that, you have depleted your money energy center. Once you do that, you have depleted your financial energy center. Whether you believe it or not, these women, they know. And that is why I understand it, because I've been trading since I was 9 years old. I've been trading since 9 years old. So I understand market principles. I understand how it happens, how it operates in the market. Now, when you see a vendor or a seller on Instagram that says no refund or whatever, you need to understand. And what I like to say to people is, what will be good for you to do is to say, okay, replacement. You can, and that is what they do in the markets. That is what is obtainable in the markets. If you do not want something, you can have a replacement. I learned from raw and practical market, whatever. I don't know what you want to call. My mother was and is an entrepreneur. Okay, so what you can do is to say you can get a replacement. Okay, especially if you are the one who has failed at your own end to fulfill your own end as a buyer. If you as a buyer, you fail to fulfill your own end, then you can offer a replacement. Okay, you can find a way to placate. But if it's the seller that is trying to prove funny, this goes against the principle of Ajay. You will say, oh, on some particular online sites and everything, did you know that in the early days of some of the, I won't call them by name, some of the e-commerce sites, I think within 2 to 3 years, between 2 to 3 years of their startup, they nearly crashed because they didn't know how to handle the issue of refund. It was actually affecting their business, their profit, their accounting system, their tax systems. Oh, I know that because I worked in consulting for 10 years. Okay. Those e-commerce websites, they nearly crashed. In fact, one or two of them crashed actually out of the market. And there are others that are still, trying their best to stay strong. Because refunds, it goes against the principle of Ajay. It goes against it. So when you come to my space, in fact, I mean, thankfully, I haven't had anybody try to play funny with me. But when you come to my space, I try to play funny my financial energy. It can't work. It will not happen. I will never do it. You know why? I give my money only to beggars, to orphans, and to widows. My money, my money energy, my financial energy actually goes to the less privileged in society. So you cannot come to me after my own money. You want to now deplete my own money energy. I don't see. You want to now use me to kill on something. Listen, so I'm telling you guys the spiritual angle of the no refund, refund, whatever. Some people who do it, they don't even understand the spiritual angle. They're just saying, they don't want to do it maybe for whatever reason. But this is the reason. Once you do that, once you allow yourself to be open to, depleting your money energy center, you're not going to go far in business. But I would like to encourage everybody, if you're doing business on Instagram, if it's something that people can actually replace, please replace. Okay, if you haven't failed at your own end, and you insist on no refund, do not feel bad about it. Yeah, do not, because nobody can try it in Lagos Island. You cannot go to Lagos Island and go to go and book for fabric, and then you come 2 days later and say, "I don't want to give my money back." Even you two will be too afraid to try it. They will tell you respectfully, go and take something else. There's no way. It doesn't matter. Even if the fabric has finished, they will go and look for something that's close for you. Eh? What are you talking about? So let us just try to, what I call it now, observe these principles, respect these principles, and you know what? All this, somebody said to me recently, I will drag you, drag queen, dragging shin. Kata Goddess 2018, I came on the gram, and since then I've kept my name. I've not even changed my name for one day. Mm, I stand gidigba. I've never scammed anybody. In fact, I've been the one giving people money on this gram. I don't just talk. I don't loud it. You don't need to see my face. Those who have seen their faces, call kile ba bombe. Okay, kile ba bombe. So somebody say I will drag in shin. Open challenge. I did not reply you on WhatsApp. I didn't respond to you because I recorded the entire conversation. You think you're crazy, mommy? I'm crazier. I just need to respect myself, call my calling. You understand? I respect myself, call my calling. So I will drag you. You said this particular blog, that particular blog. Well, you even help me to increase my visibility in your Hey, a robodo, odogon, rebi kankan. Got it? Lọ́wọ́ náà tó máa bá ẹ túmọ̀ ẹ̀. Ẹ robodo. But I want to explain. Well, that's not what I came here for. Actually, just that's an add-on. I also want to tell vendors out there, okay, save your your financial energy, save your money energy. If you know that you're not a scammer, if you know that you're doing your best to satisfy your customers and your clients, if you know that nothing has failed at your own end, and the buyer is just being funny, you have already a no refund principle or policy, you can stand on it. Yes, and you can stand on it. And this is a spiritual thing, because the more you do it, you gotta observe yourself. Now, maybe in the years you were doing it before, maybe perhaps before you were doing it, and it's what you quickly refer, you want to please the whole world. Go and observe how those times, all those years were. Ajoniwa. That's a simple thing, because they are abusing the principle of Ajay. And I'm not talking about the goddess, so I'm talking about the energy that is called, Aji, that represents transactions, commerce, commercial transactions, money, wealth, abundance. I'm talking about that energy, because everything is energy. Okay, so as if I've ranted enough, I think you've gotten the point. Kimalo for our 10 minutes. All right, darlings. Have a wonderful new week ahead. Mwah. Hallelujah sale is still on. Shop the sale. Shop the sale. Shop the sale. Don't go and wait till you hear sold out. In fact, things are getting sold out already. So shop the sale. Hallelujah. Shalom.